like a phoenix from the depths of Jamaica Bay. We're back. This is Uncanny, the mutant musings of Matt and Sis. It's the show where we discuss Marvel's Uncanny X-Men comic issue by issue, all the way from 1975's giant-size X-Men #1 to the present day. My name is Matt. I write and draw Steamroller Man, a comedy superhero comic that you can read online for free at steamrollerman.com. And this is my co-host, Sis, publisher, promoter, and founder of Comex Studios Australia. You can find everything Comex at comex.net.au. That's comex.net.au. Sis, we're back.
Yes, we're back. We're back.
It's been a bit of a way too long.
Yeah, it's been too long. It's been too long. I actually went through my app and I have read about the next 10 or so issues.
Oh my God. Wow.
I just kept reading and reading and reading. Oh dear.
So you are super prepared for the next 5 or so shows that we record.
Oh no, we'll have to
record
do it again.
Once.
Yes,
right.
We'll have to do it again. I'll have to read it again because I will forget.
Yeah, I'd actually made notes on this one months ago before unforeseen circumstances that happened both in your life and my life caused us to have an unplanned, longer than usual break between recording sessions. So I pulled out the notes and I had to read the issue again to remind myself what I made those notes about. But I think I'm ready to talk about this issue.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us what this issue is?
This issue is called Home Are the Heroes. And that's because they've come home from their big cosmic adventure that we last talked about long ago. And this is where, I don't know if they're introducing Guardian in this, if he's been in anything else before, but as you can see on the cover, there's Guardian, although he calls himself Weapon Alpha in this.
Right.
So I'm not too sure where this sits in the thing, but either way, we've got ourselves a little bit of taste of Alpha Flight in this one.
Yeah, and you're a big Alpha Flight fan, I remember you saying.
I had the entire series before I sold all my collection.
Wow.
So I was a big fan. I think it was the art that caught me.
John Byrne.
So there you go.
John Byrne writing and drawing.
Did he write it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he wrote it and drew it, and I think possibly that was the first time that he wrote and drew a comic for Marvel. I'm not sure whether Alpha Flight happened before Fantastic Four, but I think it did. So I have fond memories of Alpha Flight as well. So it was cool to see. I think this is the first appearance of Guardian.
It sort of sounds like it the way they talk about him. So
yes. I also think that Chris Claremont tends to sort of really write scripts that his artists want to draw. Like he's one of those writers who, he identifies like, oh, what does this guy like to draw? What does this person like to draw? And he will then start writing scripts along those lines. And being that John Byrne is actually from Canada, this was probably something that they either talked about ahead of time or Chris Claremont thought like, hey, you're from Canada, why don't we do a Canadian superhero? Not that they weren't already doing one with Wolverine, but this is like Guardian is kind of the equivalent of Canada's Captain America. Like he wears the flag as his suit. And what a great character design. Like we've talked a few times on our show about Dave Cockrum's amazing costume designs for the X-Men and the Shi'ar Imperial Guard, but I think Guardian's design sort of stands shoulder to shoulder with those designs. And as far as I know, this is a fully John Byrne designed costume. But yeah, I always loved this design as a kid because it is that. So, it's like literally taking a slice of the Canadian flag and just wrapping it onto the character.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really great costume design. This cover is still drawn by Dave Cockrum. So I think at this point,
Oh,
he is still doing the covers, even though Byrne is doing the interiors. But this is inked by Terry Austin, according to the Marvel Wiki
okay.
online, because they have the credits for the covers of all the comics. So
I need to start
it's a
looking that
good,
up.
yeah, it's a good resource to look at, especially as we go through these issues.
Yeah, I'm looking for
Do
a
we want to start
second.
going through the interior of the
Yes.
book?
Here they are coming home, and I'll go through
Yeah.
who is who. We've got
Yeah.
the author. I like how they use author back then instead of
Hmm.
writer, which seems to be what modern comics use. Author Chris Claremont, artist John Byrne, inker Terry Austin, colorist Andy Yanchus, I think
I think it's
Charles
Yanchus. Yeah.
Yanchus. Yep. Letterer Joe Rosen.
Yeah.
He doesn't sound familiar. And editor is Archie Goodman. I thought he went away, so maybe he's come back. So
Yeah, I think that, see, this is still before X-Men really hit as a huge popular comic, and at
yep,
this point, as we've said before, X-Men, the comic was still bi-monthly, so it was only coming out every 2 months at this point. So I have a feeling, especially the way that the credits on each issue are changing from issue to issue, in a bunch of different roles. It feels like there was a lot of kind of, I don't want to say chaos in the Marvel offices, but seems like something was happening where it was just being kind of like handed off to figure out, like, well, who's going to be in charge of
yeah,
this
this month.
comic. But
Yeah,
I have no like insider knowledge. I'm just guessing based on the
yeah,
constantly changing credit boxes on each issue that we've done.
yeah. It does
Um,
change a lot, except for your artists. Like the same artist for a while, then the same artist for a while, and although the next issue, not to get ahead of ourselves, is a guest artist, but yep, that's for next week. Um,
we'll talk about that when we get to it, because I have thoughts on that one.
oh, okay,
Uh,
okay.
but
I like this picture where Wolverine's sort of like ripping off the costume that I really liked.
yeah, this was the costume that he took from, I can't remember the name of
The werewolf
the,
looking dude.
yeah, was his
I
name
can't
like
remember his name.
Sang or something like that? I can't remember
I
what his
cannot
name was,
remember
but
actually. I cannot
yeah.
remember.
Um, But yeah, the funny thing about that is he's got this line where he's in his thought balloon. He's saying, "Man, I got to get out of these alien threads before I start climbing the walls." And yet he's bothered to put street clothes
Close
on
over the top.
over the alien threads. And it's like, well, if you took the time to put the clothes on over the alien threads, why don't you take the alien threads off first and then put the clothes on,
Now you're
and
just
then you
making too
save
much
yourself a
sense.
step? Like, it's ridiculous. Like, this is one of those things where it was like, maybe there wasn't like communication between. This is the Marvel method where the writer
Yeah.
just writes the plot, and then the artist comes up with basically what is actually happening panel to panel, and then the writer gets the art back and has to write the speech balloons and thought balloons to make sense of what's happening in the panel. And this definitely seems like that kind of occurrence.
Yep.
But yeah, that just stuck out to me as like, well, you're complaining about the clothes, but you already changed clothes and you didn't take this off. So what's the story
Yeah.
there?
And the whole clothes uniform stuff gets me started on the next issue, so I'll stop. I'll shut up about that again. So
Yeah,
certain characters who always seem to wear their uniform, whether they're playing or
right. Yes.
whether it's
Yes.
a bit of fun or serious
Yep.
business. So I find
Yeah,
that amusing.
exactly.
But
So
enough with the next issue.
interestingly here, to me, when I was looking at this splash page, didn't quite look like John Byrne's, tightest work. So I have a feeling that Terry Austin did a lot of the heavy lifting on this
Oh,
page.
okay. I didn't think of that.
Just the way the faces look. I mean, they're definitely John Byrne-esque faces, but they're not quite as tied down, I guess
I
you'd
can see that
say.
now, actually. Wolverine looks like he's wearing eyeliner, but we won't go into that.
Yeah, so Storm looks really good, but then you look at Professor X's face, especially, like, just doesn't look quite like the way John Byrne normally draws him, and so that's why I was thinking, like, maybe John Byrne just kind of roughed in the layout for this panel, and then Terry Austin finished it off.
Oh, yeah. That would make
So,
sense.
I mean, it's still a cool image.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also wondering where'd they get the clothes from? Because
Yeah.
they just came back from space. So
because poor Landra, she's still got her weird uniform.
right.
But yeah, everyone else is a good point. They've all got clothes, and for some reason, when he got changed, old Wolverine decided to keep the alien suit on for a bit more.
Yeah, it's weird because
Didn't bother him until he got home.
Storm's in her usual costume, and Nightcrawler's in his superhero costume, but the rest of them are all in street clothes except Lilandra. So
Yeah.
it's just a weird sort of like mix and
isn't
match approach, and I'm curious as to what was the thinking there. I
Storm's easy. Storm's easy. She's got that electrical thing going on with the unstable molecule.
Oh yeah, she can just change her costume.
She can just change like that.
Yeah, which is very strange.
I forgot she could do that.
Yeah.
And it
Very
just reminded me
strange.
then.
Now, another thing that I wrote down, which I found out because of, I was curious about whether Terry Austin kind of did more of the finishes off of looser pencils from Byrne. Another reason that I think that may be the case here is that simultaneously to working on this title, John Byrne and Chris Claremont were both working on a separate Marvel comic called Marvel Team Up, which featured Spider-Man. Every issue, Spider-Man would team up, as the name implies, with a different Marvel hero. And so they were working on this team, or this writer-artist team was working on two comics simultaneously, which must have been a huge workload, especially for Byrne, because the artist always has the heavier lifting than the writer, who can just type it and then they're done. So yeah, I thought that was interesting as well, that they hadn't fully kind of devoted their energies solely to Uncanny X-Men at this point. So
I wonder if it's when it changes to Uncanny X-Men that they finally... I think that's about the same time it goes monthly, isn't it? I can't remember now.
Well,
actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my guess, is that when it goes monthly, they're all in on X-Men because they don't have time.
Have to be. There wouldn't be time.
So, yeah, exactly. Do you want to go to the next page?
Yep.
All right.
And old Sean's getting in there, going for the kiss.
Yeah. Yeah, so
quite
I think...
forcefully, that would be quite unacceptable these days.
Exactly, that's what I wrote down. I was like, Banshee, #MeToo. Like, he would have a sexual harassment or sexual assault lawsuit on his hands these days.
Yep.
But this was the carefree 1970s.
Yeah.
So I didn't think about that stuff back then. Also, along the same lines, Storm is constantly making it rain inside the mansion.
Yeah, true.
It's like, can you go outside? Are you going to clean up all that water? Like, how about just go outside and make it rain? Why do you have to make it rain in the house.
Yeah, true.
Crazy.
It's one way to water the plants, but it's the next page that the fanboys would have loved. So she can make it
Right.
rain anywhere she wants when she does that.
Yeah. Just want to mention on the art before we go to the next page.
Yep.
Great drawings of Storm on this
Mm.
page, especially panel 6. Just that pose on the last panel of this page
Mm-hmm.
it's the smallest drawing of her on the page, but
Yep.
the pose is so expressive and it's just so well done with minimal lines. Like it's much harder to draw a character small than it is to draw the
Oh
character
yeah.
large on the page, and yet this pose still works. It's still a great drawing of Storm, and I'm pretty sure that Terry Austin is inking with a pen. Like as an artist, I always like to sort of study the artwork and try and work out, especially the inking. I'm fascinated by the art of inking, and I'm always trying to work out, like, are they inking this with a brush or a pen
Oh,
or
okay.
like a nib or a rapidograph kind of micron pen sort of thing. I'm pretty sure that from the looks of the ink lines on this page, that Terry Austin is an inker that uses a pen most of the time. But look at all the detail in panel 4 at all those plants. Like, he's not
Yeah.
skimping on anything in this page. Like, it's all there, which contrasts, we were mentioning Alpha Flight. There's some issues later in that run that are notorious among comic fans for Byrne dropping backgrounds out and just not drawing backgrounds in any panels. It's just characters with blank
Oh,
panels around
I
them.
never
And
noticed that.
obviously, yeah, well, I mean, it's not something that you notice unless you kind of go back and look, and then you're like, oh, yeah, there's no backgrounds in any of these panels. But obviously, he was doing it for the sake of expediency and trying to, just get it done with the time constraints. But not here. Like, it's all drawn. Every panel has a background, except panel 2. I mean, panel 2 still has like the edge of a door frame, so I guess that counts.
Yeah, that sort of
But
counts.
yeah, it's just a really
Xavier
nice
looking jealous.
page.
Ooh.
Right. Yes.
I love that little
Well,
touch. Xavier
let's
going,
go
hey,
to the
what?
next. Let's go to the next page.
This one's for
You
everyone.
were, you were yeah.
Sorry.
Right. No, take it away. Take it away.
Oh no, that's all I had to say. It's like, whoa. I love they just went that whole free. Yeah, this is Storm. Everyone, have a look. I mean, back. This is like I think this is 81. This issue, I can't remember for sure, but
Could be.
I usually wrote that down.
Hang on, I can find out. I've got the wiki page open. This
Okay,
had a
cool.
cover date of 1978.
Oh, 78. Oh, wow.
February 1978. It was released on onto newsstands November 15th, 1977.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know why I've got 81 in my head. Oh well.
I don't
That's
know.
probably because I read ahead so much.
That's probably true.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
But this reminds me of the whole semi-naked Hulk to sell more comics. So it reminds me
Right.
of that. So yeah, it's just it's like okay, that's one way to get people into the X-Men.
I mean, it is kind of funny that, like, I wrote for this page, I wrote down Storm loves getting naked a
Yes, she
lot.
does. She does
Like,
a lot.
it's like, and it's clearly, yes, it's sort of a titillation factor for the fanboys, because it's like a lot, like it's happening a lot. Like, it's almost like a central thing for her character is, loves being naked.
Yeah,
Written in
well,
her
not to spoil
biography.
later in the comic, but she talks about how she hates having to wear these loose
Right.
threads. She'd rather be naked when she's out at the beach or wherever they were at the lake. Sorry.
Yes. So the only other thing on this page that I think we should make note of is this starts to bring in some of the mundane stuff between adventures, which not a lot of comics seemed to do. But X-Men sort of became famous for it, that it would have these soap opera elements in between these grand cosmic adventures. They would come back to the mansion and they would do, one of their famous tropes is like they play baseball or they play basketball on the grounds of the mansion, and it's basically just an issue of the characters just hanging out. And that's actually what the fans came to love about the X-Men, because that's where the character building stuff comes in, and you get to know the characters as people, not just superheroes. And I think this is where we first start to sort of see that happening. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. What's next?
But we've got the little explanation of why they weren't killed on this page.
Oh yes, right.
Gladiator could have if he wanted to.
Yes. So
the Empire.
We've gone into flashbacks, which is denoted by the rounded corners on each page, on each panel.
I like that actually. I like that little touch.
And this is one of those really masterful summaries of the previous issue, where he basically takes, a page, or maybe a page, 2 pages at most, to recap the entire issue that we've just, the entire previous issue.
Yeah.
So this one,
that in between, what happened in between as well.
Yeah, which is vital for a new reader, because back in those days when comic shops weren't everywhere, and most kids were getting their comics at the grocery store or the newsagent, or those kind of places. You kind of would have more casual readers just picking up an issue off the stand, and it's that Jim Shooter mandate where he famously said every issue is someone's first issue. So the writers at Marvel were mandated to, you must put in like a recap to bring the readers up to speed on what just happened. Another part of that was also you had to have the characters referring to each other by name, so the reader knew, oh, that's Storm, oh, that's Banshee, oh, that's Nightcrawler, kind of thing. So it comes off as hokey if you think of it as like, well, these characters already know each other's names, but it really counts.
Yes,
for
I never noticed
new
that.
readers.
I just thought that's how they talk, so I just kept reading.
There's
oblivious to the fact
there's
they
a reason.
referred
There's
to
a reason
everyone by their
behind
names all the time. Instead of "Hey you," it was always. I thought they were very polite.
Exactly. So yeah, we've got a recap here of the reason that Lilandra has had to come to Earth, because of the Shi'ar's strange bureaucracy, that even though her brother was a criminal and usurped her throne, this dude, I'm not sure who the white-haired, white-bearded guy is, but he's some official in the government. Yeah, he's like an administrator, and he's saying like, oh, well, look, the lawyers say, it's not me, but the lawyers say, like, by our laws, like, you can't actually assume the throne just yet, even though your brother illegally took the throne. So it sort of makes you wonder, well, then what's happening up there now?
Yeah,
who's in charge there right now? Because it's not the brother.
Probably.
Probably, yeah. So anyway, and then we also touch on the big secret behind that Jean is keeping from Scott, which she learned in the previous issue, that Corsair, the leader of the Starjammers, which is a bunch of space pirates, is actually Cyclops' long lost dad, who he thought was dead. So that's like a major soap opera story element that,
Big time.
that's going to come into play, obviously, because Storm and Jean are having a conversation in that lower left panel on the page of like, well, if I was you, I would just tell him. And Jean's like, no, I can't. And then Storm's like, okay, don't blame me when it blows up in your face.
I would hate you if you did that to me.
Yeah. Well,
Type of language.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yep.
Okay,
So,
then they go home, and then we're
they
back
go
to
home.
normal. And then Jean's off to talk to her parents about, oh yeah, I'm a mutant, and I'm an extremely powerful mutant. And by the way, I can turn into fiery bird. That kind of nonsense.
Right. So this is
like, when will you talk to me?
In panel 6. It's like Banshee. It's like Banshee's kind of horny. So it's like, I wonder where they're going. What are they going off to? I wonder.
I never thought of it that way. Oh, that's gold. And
then Scott is like, it's sort of establishing Scott as he's just mopey. Like he mopes around all the time.
Well, Xavier's always having to go at him. So, I'd be mopey too.
Well, that's true.
My new dad is always having to go at me.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, we've talked before on the show about how Cyclops is sort of this psychologically damaged character because his father died and he was not officially adopted, but brought into the school for gifted mutants. So Professor X became a father figure. But he's this horribly abusive father figure who turns Scott into a child soldier. So the morality of this whole thing is like
it is a bit
very questionable.
Yeah, but he seems to chill out now that Chris Claremont's writing him. He's not back in the early stuff that we read. Xavier was like,
yeah. The funny thing here is that Scott has so much that he wants to say to Jean, but he waits until she's walked away, and then he's like, "When are we gonna talk, Jean?" It's like, well, you had your chance. A minute ago she was in the room, but now you're waiting until she's gone, and you're like, nobody talks to me. Like, well, you can say something, dude.
That is true. I mean, he does like talking to himself, though.
He does.
In early issues, he loved yelling at himself as well.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's his thing.
But yeah, this is the little, what's going on down the bottom of the page.
Right. It's one of those. It's one of those. Hand hovering over the mysterious hand hovering over a console panel, which is sort of that's become like a typical comic thing.
It is. Isn't
there's
it?
always like the mysterious hand looking at a set of switches or a computer screen watching the action. So this is another one.
This is another one, but it's only one panel.
Right.
Are you finished on this page, or is there something more you wanted to say? Yeah.
No. Let's go to the next one.
And then old Kurt got himself a date. Good on you, Kurt.
Yep.
I hope he's using his what do you call it? The projector thing. I can't even remember what it's called.
Oh yes, his image inducer.
Image inducer. That's it. Because he never goes out of uniform. So
that's true. That's true.
That must stink. But
I bet it does.
Sorry. Unless he has many of them, and he changes regularly.
Hey, it's unstable molecules. It's
unstable molecules.
Unstable molecules. Exactly. Filters out the BO. One thing I thought was interesting on this page was in the first panel, in the upper left corner, you see there's a poster on Kurt's wall with a swashbuckling dude
Yep.
with a sword, and that's really informative to Kurt's character because
Yep.
he is a very sort of swashbuckling character himself, and so I like that they put that detail in the background because it's sort
Mm-hmm.
of it fits in and it adds background to his character, which I thought was cool.
Yes.
And so this is the middle of the issue here is like where we go through like I think it's like 3 or 4 pages of it's just solid character stuff. It's just the
Yeah.
characters interacting with each other, and this is what I was talking about earlier, where they're just here, they're going about their mundane sort of activities. As you said, Kurt's calling someone to arrange a date, and
Very nice.
Peter's trying to compose a letter to his parents in
Yep.
his room. And
In English,
yeah, I mean, that's say that again.
in English apparently.
Right. Good point. Good point. Yeah, and he actually says, "I give up. I'm no good at letters." It's like, well, try writing it in Russian.
Yeah, you might be laughing.
Might be more successful.
Your
That's a
parents
good
might be
point.
able to read it.
Yeah. Yes. So Kurt asks Peter
Double date.
whether he wants to go on a double date with him, but then Peter says, "No, I've got to stay here. I'm going on a picnic with Moira and Banshee later on." So Kurt's like, "All right, well, see you later, alligator."
I love the line in the last panel.
Yep.
Star Wars, one of my favorites, because half the cast
Yes.
look like my relations.
Right. Yeah. So that's interesting. Star Wars would have just come out
Yeah, so watching it a second
when they
time.
were
if you notice
working
what they
on,
look
like it would have been a brand new movie
Mm-hmm.
at the time they were working on this issue. So
Yep.
that's interesting. It's already starting to have its ripple effects throughout other media,
Yes.
which is interesting. All right, so then if we go to the next page, Kurt
like this
now
page.
teleports into, I don't know, I guess this looks like the library or the study in the mansion.
Yeah, something like that. Somewhere with a nice big chair.
Scott is, brooding.
Bean Scott.
Typical for him being Scott. But Nightcrawler doesn't really have much of a sense of privacy. Like he just teleported. Like he just teleported into Peter's room. No idea what Peter's doing in his room at the time. Just like, hey, dude, like, try knocking, maybe.
Yeah, try knocking.
Like, what's the deal, dude?
Outside at the door.
Yeah. So, Scott is basically just looking out at Jean talking to her parents, and it's interesting on this page that the middle tier of panels, those 3 in the middle, it's really good visual storytelling because even without the word balloons, you can see that
Exactly
what Jean is doing is she is telling her parents, this is what just happened to me. I can now transform into Phoenix. And then you can see like the reaction of her parents. The husband, like her dad is hugging her mother, like, and her mother's like, "Oh, I can't deal with this." So it's just really good visual storytelling. And I also love that the camera is getting closer in each panel to Jean and her parents. Just really nicely composed and laid out there. I thought that was really well done. And then the last 2 panels, Scott is basically it's pretty interesting. Like, Scott says, like, he basically gives Nightcrawler crap and
Yeah, he
saying,
does,
like,
doesn't he?
well, geez, we can't all be like swashbuckling, doing circus tricks. So he's really like, he's almost like an energy vampire. Scott is, where it's not enough for him to be down in the dumps. He's got to make everyone around
Everyone else.
feel bad. But
I love his
Nightcrawler is not.
response.
Yeah, he's not having a bar of it. He's like, oh yeah, is that what you think? Well, let me lay something on you. And then if we go to the next page,
Does big time.
we have this Nightcrawler versus Scott in a game of like, well, who has it worse? Like, maybe you can't take your glasses off, but I look like this all the time. Like, unless I have the image inducer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
It's a bit of the whole, we've both been shafted, but, if you let it tear up your guts,
Exactly.
push away those who love you, that kind of stuff. Very emotional. And he even goes, oh, blast Sean. Your timing rots. I was just reaching Scott. I was so close.
Yep. Yeah, Banshee's like, hey guys, who's coming on the picnic?
Yeah.
Bad timing.
Bad timing, old Sean.
So, I mean, that's basically all that happens on this page.
Yeah, that's all that happens on this page.
It's transitions to them. So now Banshee and Moira and Storm and Peter are all going on a picnic. And then Wolverine turns up and he's in his costume on the next page.
Yeah, I love this. It's like,
he's like, oh, make it 5 and I'm ready to picnic. I've got my costume just like I always wear on picnics. Like, what are you doing? And the weird thing is, when he arrived, to go back to page 1, he was like, oh, I can't wait to get out of this costume. So did he mean I want to get into my other costume rather than just a t-shirt and shorts or something? Like, a pair of jeans? It's weird.
And it's like he's going hunting. It's like, why does he need to be bright yellow to go hunting? Seriously.
Good point. Just yes.
Does that really work for you, Wolverine?
Exactly.
I'm going to go hunting in high vis.
Right. Great strategy. That is an excellent point. Bright yellow is not going to keep you concealed from the animals. Bless you. In the lower panel on the page, we see these are the mysterious people who were looking at the console a couple of pages ago. And you can see they've got Canadian maple leaf logos on their helmets. So this is the Canadian government coming to...
Well, if you read the dude's shoulder, it actually says shield, doesn't it?
It does. That's interesting.
That's what I found interesting. So it's shield.
So it must... that's
the Canadian branch of shield.
It's a Canadian branch of shield. That's very interesting. I did not notice the lettering. Yeah, I only noticed the maple leaf.
Yeah, I noticed the lettering. Yeah.
Because I was like, sure
shield?
What to make
I don't remember them being part of shield.
I don't remember... Yeah, I thought SHIELD was just an American government organization. And
I didn't know SHIELD had anything to do with Weapon X. So
no, same.
Yeah,
I thought Weapon X was purely a Canadian government program, but I don't know, maybe. This is one of those nerdy questions you got to ask at a comic convention when Chris Claremont's doing a question and answer panel. It's like, excuse me, in panel, in panel 4 on on page 10. But there it is. And you can see Guardian is in the shadows, on the
So you
right
don't know who
hand
he is
side.
yet, unless he does exist and you recognize the uniform.
Well,
You can
that's the
see
interesting
maple
thing
leaf.
about, yeah, exactly. You can see he's got the maple leaf on his shirt, and that's the interesting thing about comic books in this period is the cover will often give away the surprise inside. Like the cover's always going to be like the most
True.
dramatic moment. And we've
It's like,
seen him.
oh, dude in the shadows. Hang on, isn't he the dude off the cover?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you would think. If you saw this guy, it's like, oh, that's the dude on the cover. Here he is. So it's not a super effective tease.
Maybe the cover
or
was
reveal.
like decided on later.
Could be. Probably
It's
was.
like, oh, we'll tease that this dude's coming in, and then someone else went, yeah, we should put him on the cover.
Yeah. So then,
I like how Storm gets all upset that he's going hunting.
right.
I love this thing. He says, I said nothing about killing. It takes no skill to kill.
Right. So then it makes you wonder, like, so what takes skill is sneaking up close to a skittish doe to touch her. Well, yeah, that's going to take an incredible amount of skill when you're wearing a bright yellow costume.
Yes. And for a guy who brings out his claws and threatens to kill his mates all the time.
But I would never hurt an animal.
It's like, for someone, it's like, oh no, I don't kill. It's like, yeah, you kind of do, dude. You're always threatening to kill.
Exactly.
Unless you're an animal.
From the day we first met you.
Oh dear. Okay, next page, I guess.
All right, yeah, let's move on.
And here he is doing exactly what he said.
Here we go.
But it's hard to not look at the bottom panel when you open this page.
Of course, yeah. It's the biggest panel on the page. It's the most dynamic panel. And it's also the brightest colors on the page. So your eye is immediately going to be drawn to that panel.
I had to go back and go, what was he doing before this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yep. Cool. It's weird, actually. Like, now that you mention that, a more effective way to introduce Guardian would have been to have a full page of Wolverine stalking the deer, and then you flip the page,
and then
then it's a full page splash of.
Maybe they ran out of room.
I think that is probably what happened. They had a certain amount of story. They had to fit it into a certain amount of pages, and something has to be sacrificed to get all that story in there. So I think that's exactly what happened.
But I did find this page very amusing to start with.
Why is that?
It's like, why was Guardian under the ground? Was he just like, he'll come this way, and then I'll spring out on him? It's like, what if Wolverine went the other way? He'd be like sitting there under the dirt going, come on, this way.
That is a good question, which I do not have an answer for.
Don't get me wrong, it looks
It does
awesome,
look cool.
But it's like, why is he coming out of the ground?
Right, it would make more sense if he was
he flew down
in the tree. Yeah, and he flew down from a tree or above the trees, since he can fly.
Yeah. You
can still have I don't have an answer to that.
Yeah, I don't either, but it looks cool, so I'm going to go with that.
It looks really cool. I mean, great drawing.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
I love it.
It's drawings like that got me into Alpha Flight.
Yeah. So now we have face-off between Wolverine and Guardian.
He's like, I resigned.
Great. Look at the trees in the background. Like, I mean, the characters look great, but look at the attention to detail in the trees in panel 1 and panel 3. Like, again, Terry Austin is doing great work in this issue, putting all that detail into all that foliage. It just looks great. And then just great inking on the figures as well. Yeah, just great artwork all round. This is, yeah, again, I wrote down definitely inking with a pen, like a nib
Oh, yep.
pen. You can sort of tell from the lines in panel 2 that the lines on the edge of Guardian's head on the left side, see how they come to like a squared off sort of stopping point, those lines at the bottom
Okay.
of the lines, they're sort of squared off, and I think that's a pen. That's from
Oh,
using a
I would
pen,
never notice that.
a nib, a dipping nib pen.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I mean, I'm not certain. It's just that's my theory.
Cool.
And it looks great. Like this, yeah. Wow, what a page! It just looks awesome.
Very awesome. This is where I get a bit weird about. So this is fanboy Sis, but I get
Yeah.
so weird about them drawing Wolverine's claws like that. It's like if they were
Oh, with the
curved like that, how
curves.
the hell did they go up in his arms?
Yeah, yeah. That's a good point.
Because I
They
remember
were
I grew up
certainly,
with where they're straight. So
yeah, like
going back to these old
knives.
ones, yeah, like
Yeah,
knives.
yeah. I think this is just because this is really early
Mm.
in, the X-Men run, and also, Wolverine hasn't been used a lot at this point, and so I think it's just a matter of the artists figuring out like what
Yeah, what
looks
it looks like.
best.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it does look cool. Don't get me
it
wrong;
does
it
look
looks
cool.
cool. It just the technical Sis is like,
No,
that's not
yeah, I
right.
get you. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way, and I totally see where you're coming from. One thing that you could say about the curved style of
Hmm.
claws is they certainly look more animalistic.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and so maybe that's what John Byrne's going for here is
Yeah, I
that
can
animal
understand that.
quality. Um, so yeah, that's a
Yeah,
theory.
it'd come out the arm when you put them.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work as a practical sort of thing.
It's a soft adamantium, and it
Right.
oozes back in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just me being far too picky.
It's all
I
good.
like this where he jumps at Guardian, or sorry, Alpha
No, this is, yeah, Weapon Alpha,
Weapon
aka
Alpha. That's what I was
Guardian.
looking for. Weapon
Yeah.
Alpha. He's calling himself in here.
Yeah.
Um, and he's like, "Oh, he's faster than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Barely got my force field up in time."
Yep. So yeah, on the next page, are we ready to go to the next page?
Yeah, yeah.
So on this page, with with the dialogue, we get a little bit of explanation that Guardian is actually, his powers come from his suit. It's a technological battle
Yeah.
suit, kind of like Iron Man,
Hmm.
that enables him to fly, have a force field, have super strength.
Hmm.
I think those are the powers that
Yeah, the
his
main.
suit
Oh, and he can
gives
shoot
him.
energy blasts out of his hands.
Can he?
Yeah,
Oh, cool! I didn't know that.
yeah.
Look at that! Like this whole
This page is
page
awesome.
is full. Like every panel is just great posing of the figures. Some really classic John Byrne poses and layouts. Because I find that John Byrne is an artist who sort of has a library of go-to poses in
Oh,
his
okay.
in his head. Like not
Yeah,
literally,
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah.
physically, but he knows like, oh, this pose always works. And one of those poses is that flying pose that the Guardian is doing in panel
Yep,
3, where
yep.
he's sort of like curving up. Um, I could swear that John Byrne used that pose in his run on Superman in the late
Oh,
80s.
Actually, that does look familiar.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, yeah, this is a great page, just from top to bottom. Like every panel is just awesome. That first panel where Guardian's punching Wolverine and he's fully
Yeah.
turning his head to the side. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, so well drawn. Just everything is so well drawn. And this is the great thing is, like, this is only the beginning of the John Byrne run. So we've got so
Yeah.
many more issues to talk about with this beautiful John Byrne art. Also, just one last thing, on this page, on
Mm-hmm.
panel 5, he's using a technique where Guardian is diving straight for Wolverine, kind of like a torpedo. But
Yep.
then the way that Byrne's drawn it, you're only seeing the legs, and the upper torsos of both characters are not drawn, as though the energy is so great that it's sort of obliterating. Yeah, it's like a flash of energy, and that's a technique that Jack Kirby would use all the
Oh.
time in his artwork. And so I am certain that John Byrne is pulling that technique from Jack Kirby,
Oh, nice.
and using it himself. I think it's always hard to color those kind of panels because it's using the black versus white of just the ink lines on paper to get that effect. And so because there's no there's no defined forms to put color into, it's always difficult for the colorist to choose, like, well, what do I leave white
Yellow or
and what do
white?
I put color onto and stuff like that. Like, I think this panel probably looks more effective in black and white than it does in color.
Oh, yep.
Just because the white of the paper is going to sell the idea of the energy burst, you know. So yeah, just getting into my art nerd
Nice.
phase.
Well,
On that
I also
one.
like my favorite part of this is where you realize how strong Weapon Alpha is, because he's like that punch nearly took my head off. Is
Right,
what Wolverine thinks to himself. So he's like, oh, this dude's strong.
right. And Wolverine is, he's got the healing factor, so
Mm.
he's not a character that is phased easily.
Yes.
So it's interesting that, like, yeah, this is sort of giving Wolverine a shock, a surprising moment.
Well, he knows Jimmy. He talks about that in the previous one as well.
Right, right. They do
Yeah.
know each other already, which is
Oh, here's what I was
interesting.
talking about with Storm. Why do I have to
Yeah.
wear these things? Why?
Yes, yes,
This tiny
yeah.
bikini. I don't want to wear it.
Right. It's like, really, like you're wearing a swimsuit. Come on. But yeah, on this page, my notes for this page were: Storm can't stop going on about being naked. She loves
Yes.
being naked, and she loves talking about being naked,
Being naked. Yes.
because
She does.
she just won't stop talking about, like, you could imagine, like, being around her. You'd be thinking, like, what is her deal? Like, why is she always talking about wanting to be naked? Like, what's the deal, lady?
Yeah, exactly. But it's
So
abruptly spoiled by a bright
yeah,
yellow man being thrown into a
yeah,
trap.
yeah, exactly. So this whole picnic is brought to an abrupt end, or interrupted, as you say, by Wolverine getting slammed into a tree by Guardian.
And I think if we... Are you got anything for this page apart from Storm wanting to be naked?
No, that's it. That was my one
And
observation.
then it knocks him out. It actually knocks Wolverine out.
Yeah. So the cool thing about this page, I got to go to the next page of my notes. There we go.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, great first panel on this page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just with the depth of field, you've got Wolverine right in the foreground. Great pose of him knocked out, and his head's back. Looks like a really difficult pose to draw.
That would be.
But then you've got Storm in the middle ground, and then Colossus and Guardian in the background. So it's just a great use of the different sizes of the figures to denote
Where
the
they are.
depth.
Yeah.
Really well done.
I just love the rest of this page.
Yeah. Seeing Cyclops, another really cool storytelling bit across 3 panels on this page, where Cyclops is throwing a punch, and during the punch he transforms into his metal form.
Yep.
That's so well illustrated here.
Who did that again? Just saying. Who turned into
Did
metal?
I say Cyclops?
Even after this break, you're still doing it.
No, yeah. Sorry. It's not Cyclops.
No, it's all good. I reckon it
It's
adds
Colossus.
to the show. Adds to the show. It's lovely. I love it. I love it. Something for the fans. Everyone who's been watching all the episodes will really enjoy that.
Like, why? Why does this keep happening to both of us? Like,
yeah, I started it. That's the funniest part. And you do it more than I do now.
Understand. Like, I know he's not Cyclops, but there's some sort of like psychological thing. Okay, so take 2.
He hits him like full force, and you're like, you have no idea how strong this dude is. You could have just knocked a hole through him.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so luckily the dude can take it.
Yeah.
Anything more for that page?
It would just be me again, like going on about how good the art is.
Oh yeah. That goes
as I've said on the show before, I love Colossus as a character, and I love the design of that character. And this is just the way he's drawn with the metal bands going around the muscles is just so well drawn. And then he's, Byrne and Austin have really done the metallic shine on the metal really well in panels 5 and 6. So yeah, awesome. Just love it.
And growing up, I never really thought that there was a spark of energy between changing. I just thought he just went from skin to metal all of a sudden.
That's
I don't know
a
if that's
good
something
point.
they do in the later comics or not. It might have been I missed it. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that, like, visually,
I like it.
they will often do, like, they'll often draw a line of
Just not this
something
stage.
around the edge just to, because it's a visual way of communicating he is changing in this panel. Otherwise, you would have to, because it's when you're just dealing with like pictures that aren't moving and it's just going from picture to picture to picture. The only other way to communicate that he's changed from one form to another would be with a text balloon saying like, as Colossus changes or whatever.
Yeah.
Good
point. They do have that little energy. I'm just not used to the big.
Yeah.
The whole panel energy.
It certainly looks cool.
It does.
I really like that.
I like how the fist is here, then the fist is there, and then the fist is there.
Yeah, exactly. Really well done.
Awesome. Oh, I don't know what I just scrolled over then.
I don't know. Cool stuff on this page. You go first.
I just love all the well, this is where you see that he blasts out of his hands, like I was saying before.
Oh yeah.
And also he picks up a tree and he's going, oh yeah, it's working. So this must be new tech.
Right.
So
Interesting.
And then Storm's like, "Yeah, you made a mistake." He'll take
Right.
that. That was kind of stupid. And then
Yes.
just disintegrates the log that he's picked up with her
Yep.
lightning.
Yep.
And he's like, "Who the blazes are these people?" Which I find really interesting. How he doesn't know who the X-Men are, and he's attacking them in the X-Mansion, and it's like, and he's Shield. And it's like, isn't Intel what they're all about?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question, especially because they have been spying on Wolverine. Yeah. But wasn't there something in I don't know whether it was a previous issue or maybe it's the next issue that we're going to talk about, where they talk about something that implies that the wider world at this point does not know that. I think it's next issue. Actually,
It's next issue. Yeah, they say exactly that. That no one, they don't know that the X-Mansion is anything more than a school for gifted children.
Exactly. So,
even though it's filled with adults, but you won't go there.
Yeah, I mean that's a weird. One of the weirdest things is like, why are you all here? Like you're not kids.
We're all teachers. Yeah, but where are the kids? They're on vacation.
Yes.
Permanent vacation.
Exactly. But again, like I'm just going to gush about the artwork on this page again.
So you should.
So that panel that you're referring to, panel 4, where the tree trunk gets hit by the lightning, and you see all that kind of Kirby crackle effect. Mm-hmm. Like that's, and the coloring as well. Like the coloring brings across that it's burning up. Like she's using her lightning to basically burn the tree trunk to a crisp, which is really cool. And then the next panel where Guardian is firing his hand blasts, that's just a great looking panel as well.
Yep.
And then the thing I like most on this page is in the final panel, the direction of the blast is hitting Cyclops and ricocheting off. But it's not only the blast, the sound effect is going one way and then turning.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That is so cool.
So it's going skazang, but the sound effect is following the direction of the blast. Really clever. Really cleverly done.
That is.
And great coloring on Colossus here too, to denote the light.
Yeah.
Really hitting him in front and casting the back of his body into shadow. It's just really well done. Great stuff. And poor old Moira gets zapped in the head, which is unfortunate.
Right on the side of the water, which is very unfortunate.
Hell of a way to end a picnic.
Yeah. An old Banshee ain't impressed.
No. He dives in to save Moira. Look at that first panel. What a great composition. Got the hand in the foreground. So good. That's such a good drawing. Very dramatic. And really nice coloring again on the sunset tones in the background, you know?
Yes, good point.
It's really great. Really, really good artwork. So then what's happening on this page? Banshee is like, so he saves Moira and she's okay, right? And then he's like, oh, well, you're dead. I'm going to make you pay. And then he launches himself at Guardian, right?
Big time.
Yeah.
And concentrated sonic powers. Or something like that, he says. Because he's saying, I don't know if the force field will take that. I'm out of here.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, interesting.
Because he says it's liquefying everything it touches. And I'm like, I never knew Banshee could do that.
That's quite powerful. So sound waves. Interesting.
I can imagine if they were intense enough, could do something like that. But
yeah,
maybe because he's angry. It could just be because he's angry.
Definitely disintegrate something, yeah.
He's more powerful because he's angry.
Very cool. And
I don't
so
get the next page.
so Guardian's just taking off, right? Like he's like, oh, I'm out of here. Like I'm not sticking around to find out whether he's gonna liquefy me.
Yeah. And then just pop.
Oh, and then Storm takes off after him as well. But then, okay,
It's like, two of them can fly.
so I wondered about this. Panel 2, he disappears as though he teleports.
Yeah, he must
Now,
do.
I didn't know, like, you know, that first sort of suggested, like, oh, so does this suit also have teleportation powers?
Which I've
But I
never known.
looked it up, and it's what it is he has, the suit has the ability to like pour on a blast of speed that makes him go so fast that it looks like he just disappears.
Oh, no way. I didn't
He's-
know that.
He's essentially going from 0 to beyond the speed of sound in the matter of a second, like the Flash sort of thing.
Wow, I didn't
So
know that.
that's what's happening here.
I thought he must be, like, S.H.I.E.L.D. teleported him or something.
I
Especially
mean,
with
maybe.
It's like, pop. That doesn't sound like I'm racing off at high speed.
Yeah. Well, I think,
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess that could
you
be
know,
it,
like story-wise, outside the continuity of, you know, the confines of the actual story, I think, in terms of writing, it's just a convenient way to get rid of the character. And so that Storm and Banshee don't follow him and chase him. It's like, oh, well, he just disappeared. Conveniently disappears. But I think in later issues, what they probably had was people writing in saying, oh, but how did he disappear that one time?
Yeah.
And so then they had to come up with this retroactive explanation of, oh, well, what it actually was he can move at supersonic speeds when he needs to. And so I think that is what's happening here, even though it's not being explained, probably because this is the first appearance of Guardian and they hadn't really worked it all out. It was just like, oh, now he's got super strength. Now he can fly. Now he's got the ability to shoot blasts from his hand. It's just like a catch-all of like, hey, he's just got whatever powers make for the best drama and moments in the story. So
yeah, he's
I think that's what's
basically
happening.
their version of Iron Man with Captain America's suit.
Yep, totally. That's it.
Yeah. He's a cool character, but then I'm a massive fan of Alpha Flight, so I got nothing bad to say about anyone in Alpha Flight.
Yeah, really cool character. And then so that's the end of the story. And again, like, nice final panel, close up of Wolverine's face, just really nicely drawn. That's pretty much it.
Cool. Well, that brings us, for anyone who remembers, it has been a while, but for anyone who remembers, this is part where we do the band name. Now, you give me choices like we were towards the end there, or you're just going straight in there?
I've got 3 choices for you.
3?
Today,
oh, goodness.
They're all from earlier in the issue.
Okay. I won't bother trying to find them.
So the first choice is from page 4. I'm just going to go on my iPad to see exactly where it's from. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So if you go to panel, page 4, that's the one. And panel 3, we have a word balloon saying, that's Strange Elaine. And so I thought Strange Elaine is a cool band name.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to go with something to do with being naked, but no, good.
Yes. The next choice is Storm's boobs from page 6.
What?
Just kidding. No,
I was going to say, what?
no, I'm just kidding.
Who said that?
Edit that part out.
Never. That's got to stay in there.
No, the next choice is on the next page, actually.
Okay,
On page
yep.
5, panel 4, there is a text balloon in the lower left corner that says, with the sibilant hum. And so I thought, sibilant. That's a good good band name. Sibilant. And then the third choice, so you got Strange Elaine, Sibilant, or if you go to the next page, page 6, conveniently these are all close to each other.
Yes, nice and convenient.
On page 6, let me see what panel. I can't find it. Oh, yeah. Panel 5. Moira says, we want that Alex and Lorna Dane wanted to give themselves some time to get their heads back in order after Charles freed them from Eric the Red's mind lock. And so I thought, choice number 3, mind lock.
Mind locked. Ooh.
Yeah, so you've got Strange Elaine, Sibilant, or Mind Lock for this week's band name.
I'm going Strange Elaine. That's just cool.
Nice. That's my favorite one too.
Cool. Well, in that case, thank you for watching, everyone.
Yes, thanks, everyone.
Name. That's it for this week. And if you'd like to add anything, whack it in the comments. Let us know where we went wrong, where we went right. Just any old thing you want to talk about this particular episode. Remember to like and subscribe. That would be awesome. That helps us grow. And see you next time, I guess, for issue 110. Until then, I am Sis, and you can find me on comics.net.au. And Matt, people can find your stuff online?
Yep, at steamrollerman.com.
Nice. And goodbye, everyone. Have a good day or night or whatever you are at the moment.
And hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Yeah.